pastors who acted like children anytime sex or marriage was brought up. Because when you're brought up in that kind of environment, and you don't naturally understand sexuality in any form or variety, you basically create the next generation to be children in adult bodies. And you see this a lot by a lot of Christian YouTube content providers. They talk about sex like they have no clue what they're talking about. They're like children because they've never learned to face any form of sexuality without making a joke or being so terrified of it. It's like the plot of the movie Teeth. Because men who believe in the patriarchy are terrified of female sexuality. I mean, you look at any movie that a woman is sexually independent, knows what she wants, pursues, and is dynamic in a way that's considered in society as masculine traits. She's a femme fatale. And usually at the end of the movie, she dies. Or kills the male hero. And women feel a lot of shame about sex. Even the most progressive, the most dynamic, and our society may call them promiscuous, they may call them the S word or the W word, but if they were a man, it wouldn't be a problem. Our society fears women and views female sexuality as a threat. And there are places around the world that mutilate women who don't fall under the conservative expectations of what their male-centered society requires. Women are the gatekeeper for the honor of the family. And if your honor is so flippant and so easily tarnished, you don't have honor. Women control their own bodies. And it's hard to have autonomy when women's greatest desire and fantasy is to be married and be a wife. Because in a lot of culture today, you lose your identity when you get married. You lose your name, you lose your individuality, not completely. But women always lose more in relationships than men do. Women do 17 hours more unpaid work a week. It's just the way of life. And women are always villainized for acting masculine. Because people like this don't want women to be equal. They don't see them as human. They see them as less than human. And I'm actually quoting a white MAGA pastor dude I watched on the internet through YouTube. These MAGA conservatives, these religious radicals, don't see women as human beings. They see them as tools to reproduce and to support them. They're not seen as people with their own dreams, their own desires, their own autonomy. There's something that they can possess. And you can call it a trad wife, a trophy wife, or being a suitcase, whatever you want to call it. But as long as we view women, or even women viewing themselves as less than, secularly, religiously, privately, we will never be able to reach our potential at every opportunity. And church does teach women to endure sex and shame. Even if she likes it, even if she doesn't. And it's not all denominations, it's not all religions. But the more conservative people are about female sexuality, the more women die every year. And it's not an honor killing, it's just murder. But they don't see it that way. And men need to stop controlling women's bodies, sexuality, or how they behave. Because they're not an extension of men's wills. They're their own people. They have their own social security number, their own career.